We've got the fifth installment of the Indiana Jones franchise. I brought someone with me who has been a fan since the beginning. Hello, Tim.
Hello.
We're going to talk in a moment about the Dial of Destiny. Hey guys, Dan here, and like I mentioned, my buddy Tim's with us. It's been a while since we had you for a new movie.
Yeah, I think I don't know, was it West Side Story?
That's what I was thinking. There had to be one since West Side Story. That was like a year and a half ago.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But we both have seen now Indiana Jones. I was a bit late on this. It's been out for a few weeks, but this is being considered a big bomb. It was like a $300 million price tag. Did not do that well at the box office. We will talk about our feelings on the movie, but I thought you would be good to bring in on this because you are a big fan.
Yeah.
The third installment, one of your favorite films of all time.
The third installment, Last Crusade, was in my top 50 movies.
Yes, and I would say that's my favorite as well. I've seen all of them once, and that one I saw twice.
Okay.
But I mean, I grew up a little bit seeing, my brothers would have it on or whatever, but we didn't own like the VHS or anything, so I didn't actually see any of them until maybe 15 years ago. And I saw the fourth one first, which was what's called a mistake.
Yeah, definitely.
That was a big mistake.
I know I saw Last Crusade in theaters. That was a big thing we saw in theaters one summer. But the
'89 was a big summer.
The other two was just like we rented them, would watch them every now and then.
And they were just on TV, on cable all the time. We didn't have cable, so
it was like one that my dad always liked watching, and like so it was one that
it's a very dad movie.
Yeah, it was on on TV a lot, and then. I think I've seen the fourth one once.
Yeah, Crystal Skull, it's not good.
It's not good.
All I wanted for this movie was for it to be better than the Crystal Skull.
Yes.
And a bit of a spoiler for my grade, it is better than Crystal Skull. I wasn't grading at the time, but that's probably like, a D plus or a C minus. It's not good.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, somewhere in that range. Yeah. So all it had to do for me really was just beat that. But all right, so like I said, this is kind of being considered a bomb, $300 million price tag, but
everything's a bomb right now.
Everything's a bomb. The Flash is a bomb. Everything except Barbie is a bomb.
Yes.
And Mission Impossible's a bomb.
Yeah. The movies cost too much money to make, and no one's seeing movies.
Correct.
Although they called Elemental a bomb, but now it's doing gangbuster business overseas.
Oh, is that right? So now Elemental's a big hit.
It's making a lot of money.
Okay. How's Little Mermaid? Still a bomb?
I don't know.
I think Little Mermaid was like okay. Like I think it kind of broke even or something.
Good opening weekend, but I mean, the price tags of movies are just
price tags of movies are too high.
So high.
And Disney's putting out a movie every other week now that they own so many properties because this is technically Disney now, and then they're going to release Haunted Mansion, and then they just had Elemental, and so. I don't know, but this is still doing okay. It's still in the top 5 in theaters. Listen, I saw it. What day was yesterday? Monday afternoon, and it was like kind of not packed, but like I'd say there was probably about 20 people in the theater with me.
Yeah.
So it's not bad.
And I think right now with strikes and stuff going on, I think things might slow down release wise. And might have long legs.
That is an interesting theory. It'll be interesting to see how the strike affects things going into. Certainly, it's going to affect TV. But movies. Maybe they'll push back some release dates to have a little more in the mix.
They can't film anything now.
Right. So. Yeah. So that's true. All right. So let's talk about this. I was going to leave you with the synopsis because you said you were going to give me notes, but it's a pretty easy synopsis.
Yeah, I'll talk about the synopsis. Yeah. So it's Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, and Indy is back. He is, I think, 70 in this movie. It's,
because it takes place in what, 69?
69. And the MacGuffin of this movie is a artifact that he needs to find called the Dial of Destiny, and it's mysterious and has powers.
Yeah.
A newcomer, blast from his past that we didn't know about. Phoebe Waller-Bridge plays Helena, who is his kind of like sidekick for this.
Yeah,
this
his
movie.
goddaughter.
It's his goddaughter from a character that is also introduced in this movie as well. And Nazis are back. And I think that's synopsis.
Okay, so
Mad Mikkelsen.
I didn't know if her father was like in previous installments or what. Okay, so new character.
New character.
All right. So yes, Mads Mikkelsen is in this also. That dude that played Truman Capote in that one movie, Toby Jones, he's in it.
Yes.
Antonio Banderas is in it briefly. John Rhys Davies. Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen always showing up as
A decent villain.
yeah, good villain. All right, so here was sort of my perspective on this movie as like a, I don't want to say a non-fan because it's not like I dislike them,
Yeah.
but just somebody who didn't grow up with it. And we should say too, this was directed by James Mangold.
Yeah.
So the first time not directed by Spielberg,
No,
because he directed the fourth one, right?
he directed
Yeah.
the fourth one. He did watch it and gave it his blessing.
Okay,
If that means anything.
that's good.
Um,
I mean, I guess he's probably still a producer, so he
Yeah.
probably wants it to make money. But James Mangold has done a lot of stuff in many different genres. Most notably, I would say, is Logan.
Yeah.
That's kind of his big claim to fame. Got Academy Award nominated for the screenplay. I thought this was okay. We're not going to talk spoilers here since it is a new movie review, and on my channel we don't usually do that. But overall, I thought this was okay. I went in with fairly low expectations because it's gotten really, really mixed reviews.
Yeah.
But the people I know personally that saw it, said it was pretty good. They kind of liked it. So I thought, okay, well, maybe, it'll be good. I think it's definitely too long.
Yeah, that'd probably be my biggest complaint of the movie is that not only is it too long, it feels long.
Yeah.
Because, I mean...
Is it because of all the chase scenes? There's like a
I
good
don't think
hour or 40 minutes or something. It's sort of in the middle where it's like there's about 8 chase scenes in a row. You
don't-
could have cut out a couple of them.
I don't know what made it feel long because, I mean, compare that to Mission Impossible. You saw the new Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
That is actually longer than this movie.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel the length watching that movie. Like
No, and I'll tell you what,
maybe
I
at
actually...
the end of the movie, I felt like maybe a little bit at the end of Mission Impossible. I was like, okay,
I thought
yeah.
Mission Impossible went on a little long,
Yeah, but a little bit. But this felt like it went on for. You could have probably cut out 20 minutes and made it a tighter movie, and it would have benefited from that.
Mission Impossible is definitely more of an apples to apples comparison. I saw this movie right after I saw the 3-hour Oppenheimer.
Okay.
So maybe I had some fatigue there, but I didn't think Oppenheimer felt like 3 hours. So to me, and I'll give my review for that later, but to me, this definitely felt too long by a good 20 plus minutes.
Yeah. And I think maybe for me, the reason why it felt long is because usually Indiana Jones are about 2-hour movies, and this is 2.5.
Yeah, this is by far the longest.
So it's the longest one. It just felt a little bit long. I've only seen Crystal Skulls once, like I said, but that movie felt long too because it just dragged a little bit because of the narrative. I didn't think the narrative dragged at all. Can't pick of what could I pull out? It just felt like there was just too much.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's why
it just had too much.
That's why it felt to me like it was all the chase scenes because I felt like there were a lot kind of right in a row, and it actually made me think about Mission Impossible because I thought there were definitely obviously some big chase sequences and set pieces, and one of the chases I did think was maybe a couple minutes too long in Mission Impossible, but it felt like there was a lot of kind of plot between the chases. This kind of felt like they really wanted to push the action, which is fine. It's a big action movie, but it was a lot of action in that first hour of the movie.
Yeah. So, yeah, for me, it had a very low bar to cross because Crystal Skulls was so bad.
Right.
Does it hold up to the original 3? In my opinion, no. But is it a welcome addition? Would I watch this again? Yes.
Yeah, I probably would too.
And I mean, I liked Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character.
I thought they had great chemistry, first of all.
There was another kind of sidekick, Teddy. I thought he was good as well.
Yeah, he was good.
I didn't find him annoying as
No, he was
not
small,
annoying. Like a small child sometimes can be annoying or anything like that.
This movie's pretty good. This series is pretty good with that though, because of course Short Round classic.
Yeah.
I thought he was good.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little too convenient some of the times, with him. I know that's what these movies kind of do. And
Indy's always convenient.
Yeah,
everything
very
happens
convenient.
Very convenient. So I guess the big thing that some people are complaining about is
the de-aging.
The de-aging.
Okay, I actually thought that looked really good.
Yes.
Compared to a lot of the ones we've seen.
I thought it looked really good. It took me maybe 10 seconds or so to kind of like accept it, because I think my mind was like, well, that's obviously not Harrison Ford because it's
Right.
de-aging him
Right.
30 plus years.
Yeah.
And I know what Harrison Ford looks like.
Right.
So I think it had to wrap my mind around it.
Yeah, because in the beginning of the movie, it's what? Still in the 30s, I guess, or maybe 40s?
Something like
Yeah.
that. So there is a decent chunk there with a DH Harrison Ford.
Yeah. Yeah, probably about 10 or 15 minutes. I mean,
yeah.
it's the whole first part of the movie.
It's a decent chunk. So, like, it took me a little bit to, like, I think, like, you saw it once, and then I think I saw it a second time, and I was like, it was a little drawing. But then after that, I just accepted it, and I mean, it looked so good.
I really thought it looked good.
Like, sometimes, like some complaints is, like, it has, like, dead eyes. Like, I didn't see that at all.
I really didn't either.
It just, I think it was a little jarring because I know what...
right, because you know it's not him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel
maybe
like...
it looked too good. I mean,
I feel like Disney does that better than anybody, because they did it in the Avengers movies with some of those characters, and that was like, it was all right, but they were pretty small chunks of the movie.
Yeah.
But then, like, they did it in The Irishman, which I thought did not look good.
Yeah.
That was a bad movie anyway, in my opinion, but you know, they really de-aged De Niro in that, and it just didn't seem natural.
Yeah.
This seemed natural to me. It felt like I was watching a movie from 30 years ago with Harrison Ford from 1990.
Yeah.
So I did not find fault. Now, I will say, I think maybe because they spent so much money on that, some of the parts, like, towards the end of the movie, I felt were kind of not great CGI. You know, where they... well, we're not going to do spoilers, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I thought that did not look great compared to the first part of the movie. But yeah, when hearing people complain about the de-aging, I thought it looked fine.
Yeah.
So it got us right into the... And it was an exciting entry to the start of the movie. Like, it was an exciting entry point, seeing all that. And then, of course, we flash to 69, he's grumpy old man. You know, I don't know why they always have to make everybody grumpy. He could still be whatever. I guess it's a throwback kind of to his dad being kind of a grump in Last Crusade.
Yeah, I think it's just
grumpy old man sells, and
Harrison Ford's niche right now.
I guess that's true. He's grumpy and shrinking. Yeah, he's everything else. Yeah, I suppose that's true. Yeah, but I agree with all your points. I have the feeling your grade's going to be a little higher than mine, though, just because of the legacy for you.
Yeah.
But I will admit, I mean, I would rewatch this.
Yeah, I'd probably rewatch it. I mean, anybody I've asked me about it, I was like, well, I enjoyed it. I mean, I would recommend it to people.
Yeah. I feel like it's getting a lot of, like, taking a lot of punches with critics and audiences alike. I thought it was better than a lot of movies that, kind of had big budget price tags over the last few months.
I think its Rotten Tomatoes score isn't that horrible.
I think it's like in the 50s.
Is it?
I thought so, yeah. We would have to look that up. But, let me think. Are there any other points we wanted to make? I think that was it for me. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, great.
Yeah.
Good addition. Okay, I would not mind seeing her continue on. I don't know if that's the plan that they're thinking of or whatever.
I mean, I read that, I think that might be what people are upset about, is, like, they don't want her...
They don't want it to continue.
They don't want it to continue with her. I think they set it up nice for her to, but I think, if it's a spin-off, it's a spin-off. Like, I think that's fine, but to be, like, call it Indiana Jones without Indiana Jones and just have...
Yeah, well, and with the response and the box office, probably any thoughts they had about that are dashed a bit.
Yeah.
But all right, well, now I am curious. I thought it was in like the 50s maybe for the Rotten Tomatoes. So I'll give my grade if you want to look that up. I leave The Dial of Destiny with a B-, because I gave Mission Impossible an A-. I think an entire step down is good for this, but it's certainly a slightly above average movie.
Okay, so critics is 69, so
all right, that's better than I thought.
And audience is 88.
Oh, all right. Well, that's not nearly as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
Maybe I looked early or something, but okay, that's actually a little. That sounds about right. 69%.
Yeah,
I think that seems right.
I think I'm slightly above you with a B.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's just great to see. a childhood character that I love Indiana Jones back for one good adventure opposed to a bad
Yeah,
adventure.
that's the thing. It's like the fourth one left such a bad taste in
Yeah.
everybody's mouth. Even me, who never saw any of the movies, I was like, "This is not good. Like,
Yeah.
what are people into this character for?" So yeah, this is definitely leaving it on a much higher note than
Yeah.
that. So, all right, well, Tim, thank you for joining.
Yeah.
I think we might next see you in the Emmy nominations video
Oh yeah.
because that'll be coming up here in the next few weeks. But thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time on Dave Reviews It. Bye.